in their head. They just muishiki ni.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can convince ourselves like that, but most of the people actually thought that that's a weird.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's cool idea that eighth blade is actually his arm, but it's always really some, Kishimoto thought it's cool and then like added up on later on, or it just
So,
is a
and
mistake.
that's another thing you should mention. Who are the Yotsugi? Because I didn't even notice that. But
Yotsugi is like Kiri. I think it's like a Uchiha family in the.
It's like a noble clan of
Yeah.
the Cloud Village.
Because he said, I'm Yotsugi family. I'm not gonna tell. Yotsugi means moon. Night and moon. So night, moon.
Oh, so it's kind of
Clan.
almost the opposite of Akatsuki, John. Kind of. It's like they both have the moon kanji in there. Red moon versus
Yeah, but
night.
Akatsuki means
Red moon, right?
sunset.
Oh. It's not the moon kanji?
No.
Oh, what is it?
Akatsuki means like it's
Red?
flame. It's a fire. And,
Uh-huh.
I mean, the kanji is combined, but its meaning is sunset or the dawn.
What kanji are combined?
Fires and what was that? My Japanese fading away. It's the sun and some other thing, but it's supposed to be dawn.
It's supposed to be what? Dawn.
Dawn, yeah.
Oh, because they're like
Dawn
bringing,
dusk. Yeah.
they're bringing a new.
Yeah. And as you can tell, it's not moon. If you take a look at kanji on the left side, we have sun.
Oh, you're right. It's one kanji.
Yeah.
I just assumed in my head that it was always two. It's like the left side is sun, and what's the right side mean?
Right side doesn't have any meanings.
Oh, okay, and it means dawn in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like in Japan, we consider dawn as like someone who brings a change in the world.
Yeah.
And
okay.
also
It's like light bringer in
yeah.
English.
And it's not like really dawn. So there's,
Dawn.
I mean, sorry, it's not the sunset.
Ah.
It's going down too. So it's gonna.
It means both?
No, it's really like taking things down. That's why it's as strong as sun, but then you are taking everything down with it.
So
That's what Payne's believes, right?
So wouldn't that be sunset? Bringing
Yeah.
the sun down?
Wait, dawn is sunset, isn't it?
No, dawn is the opposite of sunset. Dawn is bringing the sun up. Sunset is bringing the sun down.
Oh, sorry, yeah. That's
so
right,
dawn.
that's right.
So yeah. So we say dawn and dusk,
Yeah.
sunrise and sunset.
Yeah.
I forget my English sometimes too. I've been here too long. And so okay. So I also one thing you also mentioned that was cool was that you noticed that what was the thing you noticed about the Kumogakure and their number of Jinchuuriki?
Oh yeah, the second Jinchuuriki, Yugito, was also from Kumogakure.
Ni Yugito.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seems like the Kumogakure had two Jinchuuriki.
Yeah. Also, I think they are respected in the village too, because they are all using keigo. And unlike when Gara was taken away, everybody's just like, "Oh, thank you for taking him away." But then, like in this village, he's like, "Oh, we have to tell Raikage, and like make action."
Well, if you can tell right away that both you maybe because they're a lot older, but the Nibi Yugito and Hachibi KillerBee are both. They're much more in control of their powers. They don't seem like they're crazy. Like Gara was a crazy little brat when he was a kid.
Well, I think it's because the way they brought up too.
Okay.
And also they adapt with Jinchuuriki much better. Because look at Gara, his eyes are all like fucked up and stuff. But then if you look at Yugito and KillerBee, I mean KillerBee's outfit is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but
that's
then
what
it seems like their appearance is just very normal.
Yeah, and again, so I mean, it seems like Gara's on the one hand, Gara like he pretty much can't sleep all the time, so he's half crazy, but then again, they didn't seem to have any powers of like controlling elements like sand or stuff around them either. So that might be the flip side of he got some extra power from being a little bit.
Also, the fact that there's two Jinchuuriki given to one village, there must be some sort of secret where they know some sort of method or have a know-how to control these Biju better than any other village.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say maybe it's because you don't really hear about the Kumogakure. Aren't they pretty small?
Well, each country has their own army, and Ninja Village is the army of that country.
It's like, aren't they more like the secret service, like the CIA kind of? Don't they have like an army, and then the ninja are like the secret service, special elite force?
Well,
like
it seems like a ninja is this mercenary house, which is funded by government.
Yeah, I kind of feel. Well, I thought maybe Kumogakure is really small, and so that they were given two Jinchuuriki because
to balance out the power.
yeah,
That could be
balance
true.
out the power and stuff on here.
Also, the fact that Hachibi's 8 legs and not tail because it's an octopus, which doesn't make any sense.
Eh? What?
Hachibi has.
The Hachibi is a Gyuki, right?
Yeah, but then like that's not tail. That's a leg.
No, because the way they showed it, doesn't he have 2 front legs and then
front arms and everything else? It's like in Japan we don't consider that tentacle as like shippo, which is tails ever. It's always a leg.
Oh.
That's why we call it takoashi.
Ah. And the backside's supposed to be a spider, really, not a octopus, right? But anyway,
in Japan, if we talk about 8 legs, we always think about octopus. Maybe that's why Kishimoto just did that in a way. That because KillerBee has this crazy, way of going, and then like taco.
Well, I still think it's because he used up the Hachibi was supposed to be Oroto no Omachi, Yamato no Orochi, Yamate no Orochi, but.
Well, everybody said that, but then people is like, people saw that's not gonna come because Orochi already came.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I think he's just kind of like stretching for something else that was similar to 8.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Is so
also Orochi is the godly creature, and like it has a chance to be stronger than Kyuubi, so maybe that's why they didn't use it. Because Yamata no Orochi is the strongest monster that you can think of in Japan. And then like it's considered to be as strong as God. So if you bring down this monster,
that the Kyuubi
is actually from China.
Yeah.
That's the strongest yokai, but that's not godly level.
But you said, didn't you say last week that sometimes it's considered a god, the Kyuubi?
Kyuubi, yes, sometimes considered to be god, but the Yamata no Orochi is always like the god monster, godly monster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you bring, Orochi, if they use the Orochi, Yamata no Orochi, then they might have a problem.
But I mean, because because it also fits with the whole, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Orochi, Maru story and stuff. And he used a snake as well in the original Jiraiya Tsunade story, the show. But I had to find that link for that story that talks about the fight between the Hachibi, because it does say Orochimaru versus Yamato Orochi fought the Kyuubi. But it looks like we've already hit the 15-minute mark. So I'm gonna this will be the first half of 415, the new power, and I'll do another half, a part 2 episode where we talk about the translations, because I kind of felt like a lot of the translations were really, really bad this week. On today's Naruto L.I.T, we learned what was the metaphorical purpose of the Hawk versus 8-Tails fight. We also learned what social moray in Japanese society is responsible for Itachis' overestimation of everyone. We learned who the Japanese feel was the strongest Sannin, and who they felt was the best ninja overall. Why the KillerBee was considered the 8-Sworded Swordsman, even though he only had 7 swords. What the significance of the name of the KillerBee's clan was. And we learned what the significance of the Cloud Country having 2 Jinchuuriki was. We also learned why Japanese kids were mad about the form Kishimoto chose for the 8-Tails. And lastly, we were reminded that the Yamato no Orochi, the monster that Orochimaru's final form is based off of, is a god.